I give Joe Douglas here really flying good grades. I do. I think that this here is manipulating the chessboard, doing it smartly to get to the end result you need. Because, first of all, Elijah Moore was disgruntled. He wanted more targets. He spoke about that publicly. Apparently, there was a run-in with Mike LaFleur, the offensive coordinator last year, that he was just unhappy with his role. Okay, so now you take a guy who's already shown to be a distraction or a me guy, and you've shipped him out. You get a second rounder in return. That can be used for the Rodgers trade, and you bring in on a 1-year, $6.5 million deal a guy who's won a Super Bowl, played with the Chiefs, and proven that in a good offense can absolutely be productive. Mecole Hardman has been really good for the Chiefs the last couple of seasons. You have signed Allen Lazard, a Rodgers favorite, and you have Garrett Wilson, who looks early on to have the makings of a number one. So you have a number one. You bring in Hardman as a slot guy. You've now signed Allen Lazard, who can be a third wide receiving option, all with the intent, I'm sure, to land Aaron Rodgers. So this gets you the draft capital you may need to get Rodgers, and you also get Mecole Hardman immediately to add to this wide receiving core. I like it. I think if you have these three guys and then you have Rodgers coming in, I like what Joe Douglas did. So I'm going to give Douglas very high grades on this, and I think that if the Jets can pry Rodgers out of Green Bay with a pair of twos, no harm, no foul. I think once you start giving up ones for a guy that may be there 1 year, that's a tough sell for me. That's a very tough sell. I understand why the Jets wouldn't want to trade a first rounder. I understand why the Packers would want to ask for it, but let's assume that you can't get a one for a guy that could be a 17-game rental. Then a pair of twos or a two this year, a two next year or whatever, you can live with if you're the Jets and you only get one season out of Rodgers. Obviously, you want more, but it's not as crushing as trading away a one. So you get a two for a disgruntled wide receiver. You use it to get Aaron Rodgers. You have three good wide receiving targets at the moment for Rodgers. I like what Joe Douglas has done with the Jets to inch him closer to getting